Hello, everyone. Welcome to Harmonic Heart. We're a music blog dedicated to showcasing musician stories and talent. I'm your host, Chris Millette. And I'm excited to have on the show Nykee P. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, yes, I'm glad to have you on. Yes, so citing artists like Billie Eilish, Cardi B, and Megan Thee Stallion, Baltimore-based songwriter Nykee P's songs vary between hip hop, R&B, urban, and Latin pop. Believing her calling in life is to create, inspire, and empower, Nykee uses lyrics and music to encourage people to boldly pursue their passions and live out their life's purpose unapologetically. Yeah, and she's released just a string of great songs that are available on streaming platforms, and I can see how that mission comes through in both your music and even what you post on social media. So, I'm
Mm,
looking forward to hearing more about that. Yeah.
Awesome,
So,
awesome.
yeah. Great. So, how did you get involved with music and first, yeah, just get into it.
Um, my earliest memory of music is I was, I'm going to say I was about 6 years old, and I was playing with my dolls, and I think it was raining outside. It was like a thunderstorm or whatever, so
Oh.
people in the house were like scattered, and I was just playing, and I just had this desire to like make a band. So I
Oh.
literally like I took my dolls and I situated them however. I had the guitar player and a keyboard player, which I
Mm.
probably like took some piece of paper and like cut it out like to make the keyboard, and
Mhm.
and I had the drummer and I kind of put them in position. I have no idea what song it was that I wrote. I do not remember the lyrics, but
Wow.
I do remember doing this thing, and I know that I was that young. So I think
Yeah.
music for me has just been something that I loved. I love listening to it. Um, I love the words of music. Even when I was really little, I always paid attention to what was being said. I always wanted to know who wrote what, and
Oh,
I was
interesting.
very fascinated by people who wrote. My favorite songwriter at the time was Dianne Warren, and I was so
Mm-hmm.
fascinated by her because she wrote in several different genres. It seemed like every time
Mm-hmm.
I turned around, no matter which like CD or whatever I was listening to, her name was in the credits. And this was
Oh.
R&B, and then I've seen her in
Mm-hmm.
country, and I've seen her in
Oh,
like
wow.
pop, and I was like,
Mm.
oh, you can do more than one thing. That's cool. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I just was very fascinated just by the creation, you know what I mean, of
Mm-hmm.
music. So I think that's how I got started.
Oh, that's fascinating. Yeah, how old were you again? With that
I was 6.
6 years old. Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like naturally drawn to it. Oh, that's
Mhm.
awesome. Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, Diane Warren. Yeah, I enjoy these interviews because then I learn about people to look up as like cool influences. So I'm gonna have
Mhm.
to delve into her work. What are
Mhm.
some notable songs that from her that really stuck out to you?
Let me see. As a kid, um, I know she's written for Faith Evans. I remember seeing
Mm-hmm.
her name on one of those songs. She also had she was really big in the 80s. So like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of there was a movie that I saw when I was a kid called Mannequin. I wasn't supposed to see that as a kid, but I saw
Oh, okay.
it.
All right. As we,
And
as we do.
right. And she wrote the I think it's the theme song actually like for the movie. I think the movie goes off on this song and it's called Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. And it's funny
Mhm.
because I do not know who the artist is. I do not remember the
Oh,
artist at all, but I remember that Diane Warren wrote that song.
whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a talented singer and I enjoy your writing. What are some ways that you developed your singing and writing?
Ah, it really is about who I've listened to. Throughout listening to music for my whole life, I somehow internally, I guess I noticed a pattern of how songs are structured.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know it changes and it varies from song to song, but I understood what it was, verse and pre-chorus and then chorus and then the second verse and then the pre-chorus and the chorus and then it was a bridge and then usually the chorus and then the song was done. And so I got used to that pattern. So when I first started writing, that's how I wrote. As
Mm-hmm.
far as singing, it is a combination of people that I listen to and also just trying to develop my own voice because
Mm-hmm.
I don't sound like Beyonce. Like I had to really figure out who Nykee P was. What was Nykee P's voice?
Mm-hmm.
So it's I am influenced by other people, but it's also like extracting from them what I relate to the most. So the artists that I cited as being like current influences, these are people that I relate to on some level. Like I really am a very big fan of Billie Eilish. I relate to the raspiness and her tone
Mm-hmm.
and just the emotion that she puts into the lyrics of her songs. And so it's people like her that I listen to and I try to emulate that when I write and sing.
Mm-hmm. And you also spoken to or about, Dianne Warren, that's her name.
Yeah.
And, a big aspect of her that appealed to you was how she goes through multiple genres.
hmm
Um, and yeah, those artists you cite as well also are either, known for blending genres or bringing freshness to genres. Yeah, how do you see, yourself doing that? Because you hop between different genres too.
Yeah. I do not like being put in a box.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it is human nature to categorize. It is just what we do, myself included, but I never wanted to just be put in a box based on stereotypes or based on just being told what I could and couldn't do. Some of that is just the rebel in me, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody telling me, well, you have to choose this or that. And my question is always, but why? Why do I have to choose? Why can't I
Right,
have
right.
both? Why can't I jump over here and then jump back over here?
Mm. Between
So
the angel and the rebel.
that's exactly because when I wrote that song, I actually wrote that based on what I feel like happens inside of my head. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how I don't know how many people still say this, but I know before people talk about having an angel sitting on one side and having the
All
devil
right.
sit on the
Mm-hmm.
other side. Well, with me, I feel like it's the angel and the rebel because it's the
Mm-hmm.
angel side that there is a part of me that does want to fall in line and kind of like do things normal. And then the rebel in me is like, but why do I have to do that? And I'm
Yeah.
finding that as time goes on, the rebel voice is becoming much louder than the angel voice. And so for me, those are the voices that I have to deal with, not the angel and the devil, but the angel and the rebel. So yeah,
Mm.
it's literally bouncing back and forth between, all the sides of me. That's really,
Mm.
yeah.
Right. And, and as you mentioned, encouraging others and you leaning into yourself, unapologetically. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, as I was listening to your songs, and as we're talking about, just um, bringing your full self into regardless of the genre that you're singing about, or that you're
Mm-hmm.
singing in. And I just found it to be interesting because even if you have like some like more electronic sounding songs,
Mm-hmm.
and but I think hmm, it's either
Shattered mirror.
it's either like screw it or slay. I think it's
Okay.
screw it when you're like, I'm the definition of grit.
Oh,
I was
yes.
like, I was like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
It's like, well, yeah, I really enjoy the writing on Slay and Screw It. But yeah, like stuff like that, like I'm the definition of grit. And it's like, yeah, that's like such like the definition of like a black woman. Like, like I'm just the resilience. And it's like, that's amazing. And
Thank you.
so I thought, yeah, it's just really cool because yeah, just you're being yourself and just using your authentic voice
Mhm,
throughout these just multiple genres, and it can you know you're being providing representation in
mhm.
these different spheres. So I thought that was really interesting. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I really had some very talented writers and producers working with me on those songs as well. So that
Mhm.
also is very helpful.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'm curious to hear about your collaboration process. Yeah. Hmm.
Awesome. So it does vary from person to person. I've had some where, like for Screw It, I was actually working with a co-writer. None of them live here, by the way. That's the other beautiful
Oh.
thing about
Hmm.
virtual space. I've never met these people in person. Well, some of them I haven't met in person, but the my co-writers for Screw It, it came out of a conversation. Actually, that wasn't even the song we were planning to write.
Oh.
I was on the phone. I was on the phone with her, and I was sitting in the car. And we're just talking. We're actually
Mhm.
friends, so we're just talking. And I basically said like the words of the song. Like we were talking about another song, and we were talking about this music business, and what do we have to do, and all the things that we have to be, and blah blah blah. And just admitting that it's a lot that we don't know. And some
Mhm.
of these songs, I'm like, I don't know if this is working or not. And I was like, you know what? But screw it. I'm going to do it anyway. And she
Yeah.
was like, that's a song.
Right. Right.
She said, no, seriously, that's a song. So I was like,
Mm.
okay. So we, I don't think we did anything like right at that moment other than just like capturing that one line. And
Mm.
then we went to our producer and told him what we were doing, and he sent that track in. And so she was like, oh, Nick, you got to do this one. I can't do this. You have to do it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And so that's how that song came to pass. So some of my collaborations are like that. Others, I might just hear a track, write to the track, and just record. And some others, we build the track together. So it definitely depends on the individuals that I work with.
I see. I see. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and I really do, enjoy that line. When you say like, "Oh, like, am I on the right path?" Well, the truth is nobody really knows, so we're just gonna go ahead and do it. And that's, you bring in forth that encouragement, and being
Mhm.
determined. Yeah. How did Slay come about?
How did Slay come about? I think, huh? I was watching a commercial because one of the biggest reasons why I dove back into music in these last couple of years, my focus has been writing for film, ads, and TV.
Oh, interesting.
So I found a commercial for some beauty product, some lipstick or something, and it had the what is she? She's a model and an actress, Ruby Rose. And the track that they were playing just really sounded nice. And I was
Mm.
like, I could do something like this. It doesn't even have to be sung. I was like, I can do something like this. So I was looking around for a producer, and somehow I found one in Australia, believe it or not.
Mm.
And I sent him the song, and what he sent me back was the track that I used. And I was like, oh my God, I love this track. And he's
Mm.
like, really? I said, yes. I said, I had something. I'm going to send this back to you. And I basically just played around. I didn't want it to be anything where it was structured in the normal verse, chorus. I didn't want that. I just wanted to speak, and I wanted something that was empowering. And what's
Mhm.
more empowering than the word slay?
Right.
And so I just played around with it. I literally just wrote words down, and I just kind of had this vision of my head, like, in the mirror, and kind of like getting ready for the day. And just
Mm.
like talking to yourself and like, so
Yeah.
what are we going to do today? Same
Mm.
thing we do every day. We going to say, and then just,
Yeah.
and and as far as all the mixing with my vocals and all of that, I have to credit Alex helped him for that one. I wanted him to do some chopping and screwing, as he likes to call it.
Mm,
And that's what
mhm.
he did. He just took my vocals and chopped them up and messed around with them
Right.
and did all those cool little things that you
Hmm.
hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted a song that was empowering. And so,
Hmm.
yeah, that's how that came about.
Yeah, I enjoy, how empowering it is, and yeah, those vocal chops and like the pitching and things are really
Hmm.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How do you find, you mentioned working remotely. How do you get connected with, producers in Australia? Yeah.
um, so about 3 years ago, I took this course called Six Figure Songwriting.
Oh wow.
And most of the people that I know have all come either from this course or because of this course has somehow indirectly led me to these different people. I think
Oh,
the producer for Slay, we're all like in a Facebook group. So I think
nice.
one day I just posted, I need some producers who produces this type of music. And he responded to me and sent me a DM. And we had a conversation about it. Like I said, he's in Australia. It's very interesting trying to do timing with people in
Oh,
Australia because they're
hmm,
just so far
right.
ahead of us. So I think
Hmm.
I talked to him like it was like evening my time and like the middle of the afternoon, like his time the next
Oh
day. It
wow.
was very interesting.
Yeah,
But
that's wild.
yeah, that's how I found him. And I think now through Instagram, when you post, people see you,
Hmm.
and then I get connected to other people that are in the music industry that I know, and I might comment on their posts. So somebody sees that I commented, and then they friend me, and it just, the chain keeps going on and on,
Right.
So yeah.
Hmm. Oh, I see. Yeah, and I really enjoyed your Bad Romance cover. How'd you decide to do that?
Um, I wanted to do a release in February and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I said, I've never done a cover before.
Mm,
I want to do a cover. I want to release it on Valentine's Day. And I am a Lady Gaga fan, and Bad Romance is a song that I like. And I've heard her acoustic version of it.
mhm,
And I was like, I wonder if I can, do something with this song. And
mm,
so I actually worked with a local producer for that one because
mm,
I felt like I needed to be in that person's presence so that we
mm,
could build this song together. And so my oldest producer friend, is from Baltimore like me. And so so I hit him up and I was like, hey, you want to help me out with the song? So he was like, sure, come past. And so I sat in his studio and talked about it. I let him hear it, told him what I was trying to do, and he was like, okay, let's work on it. And it's funny because I wasn't liking how I was sounding in the song
mm, mm,
initially,
mm.
and I was about to not release it.
Oh,
Really
interesting. Really?
wasn't because
Mm,
I'm listening to it like my very first draft of it. I was
mm,
like, I don't like it. I don't
mm,
like it. And I
mm.
called him. I was like, Mario, I don't like it. And he
Oh,
was like, well, wait, hold on. He said, just send me your vocals and just come through. Let's talk about this. Let's see what
mm,
we can do.
mm,
And he kind of talked me down and he said, I think that you keep hearing the Lady Gaga version in your head.
mm, mm.
You need to make this song yours.
Right.
And so I initially recorded the song at my house, but he also has a recording studio. He was like, you want to lay vocals here? And I said, sure, let's do that. And so he said, and you can maybe add like this piece here, maybe do this harmony here, maybe take that part out. And yeah, let's just work on it. So I was like, okay. So that's what we did. And so by the time all was said and done and he mixed and did all his little magic that he does, I was like, okay, I'm okay with this. I was like, I can get to a point where I'm okay and I can release the song. So
Mm. All right. All right. Yeah, I mean, I can tell how, yeah, or at least from, my perspective, it was like, oh, yeah, like you did your own version of it. Yeah.
mhm,
And, core elements of it are there.
mhm,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
hmm, that's interesting. Yeah, I enjoy it. And, you post, um, there's like a theme for the day, for music things that you do on Instagram. And yeah, I'm curious, what drives you as a musician and artist to keep going.
Um, at the end of the day, I believe that this is what I was purposed to do. This is what was given to me to do. And even on days where I am an emotional wreck
Mm-hmm.
and feel like, why am I still doing this? Um,
Mm-hmm.
I just can't leave it alone. It's one of those things that is so ingrained into who I am that I could no more separate myself from it than I could any other part of my body. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, so
Yeah, for sure.
for better or worse, even when I don't feel like I'm doing well, um, it's still part of me. I
Mm-hmm.
can't not do it. You know
Right,
what I
right.
mean? Even when I
Yeah,
have
for sure.
slump, I
Mm-hmm.
can't not do it. I can't imagine ever like looking at music and saying, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
never going to write another lyric, never going to rap anything else, never going to sing ever again. I cannot imagine that
Right.
I would ever get that way because I might as well stop breathing or
Mm-hmm.
stop moving some part of my body. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I really relate to that. And it's become, just even such a big part of how I cope with things, like regardless of,
absolutely. Hmm.
yeah, regardless of, me trying to be famous or something like that. It's like, no, I like need to use this to like get through this hard time type of thing.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hmm. In life we're really busy as well. How do you, balance and kind of maintain throughout all of life's busyness and things?
It is an ever evolving process.
Mm.
It is, I completely believe in the concept of yin and yang. I believe that
Mhm,
balance is necessary.
mhm.
However, I don't always do it well.
Right, right,
Um, I do goal set a lot. I do goal
mhm,
set. I goal set quarterly. I goal set monthly, and I goal set weekly.
mhm,
And I think that how I balance is really just I have to purposely take time to really evaluate where I am. So, for example, right now I was looking at this whole year, and I'm like, okay, so where do I want to be at the end of this year? Because I was very recently reminded of how much I actually do not enjoy my day job. So I'm like,
mhm,
okay,
mhm,
Nykee, what do you need to do between now and the end of this year to get
mm.
yourself closer to being out of the door from working for exactly from working for somebody else.
Yes.
So one of the things I did, because with music, it is hard to be balanced with music, and not even just balancing doing music with your life, but balancing music within itself, balancing creativity with the business side. And
Mhm,
those are the things that always tend to get me tripped up. And I wind up doing too much of both and not enough really
mm,
to the point that I've actually accomplished something. So
mhm,
one of the things that I set as a goal for this particular quarter was to focus more on the creativity. So as far as
mhm,
balancing my life, I'm like, well, right now I do literally have a 9 to 5. So I know that Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, I am basically unavailable at these times.
mhm,
After work, from this time to this time, I'm going to work on music. I actually recently broke down my days to have different focuses for each day. So
mhm.
Tuesday and Thursday are supposed to be my songwriting and production days. Monday
Ah,
is supposed to be my plan, my social media, do my admin stuff days.
mhm,
Wednesday, I can't remember what Wednesday. I think Wednesday is research day. That's my
mhm,
looking to see what is going on in the industry, what webinars are coming up, what networking opportunities are there.
mhm,
Um, just anything that falls under research, looking for music supervisors, what shows fit my music, who do I need to be reaching out to,
mhm,
for pitching. And Friday, I think Friday is like my day. It's supposed to be my networking day. It's supposed to be my day
ah,
to reach out and just connect, to just connect with people, forming relationships. And then Saturday it was supposed to be my day for recording. Now I just recently moved and I live in an apartment, so recording
Mm,
habits have to change a little bit.
mm,
So
mm,
I have to switch that day. But typically, that's the way I've been trying to do it, to just have a different focus for each day.
mm,
And
mhm,
for now, that's the best way that I know to be as balanced as I can be. And the key is just to do my best to stay consistent, which is also
mm,
hard.
mm.
For me, it's hard, but yeah.
No, I mean, definitely. And yeah, that strategy sounds, like you're just able to be really intentional and focused, and
Mm-hmm.
to get the most amount during those times. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, during the pandemic, even outside of music, it's been interesting. I've learned a lot about just like that incremental growth, and just, with that, consistency, seeing just big
Mm-hmm.
changes over long periods of time. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what are some things on the horizon for Nykee P that you want the audience to look out for?
Well, like I said, I'm in a season of creativity. And so for the next couple of months, my focus is to just keep creating new songs. So what you can expect to see from me is, as we go into the summer months, you will see more releases from me. And
Mm,
and you will see me more on social media. I will be better at my posting and promo and all of those lovely
mm,
things.
mm,
So just getting my music out there and just
mm,
continuing to develop my style. You'll hear a little bit of a different style of music from me. I think last year, like my bio says, I've been in and out of different genres. I do kind of want to hone in on more of a dark pop. Actually, no, a friend of mine defined it very good for me, and I'm going to use what she said to describe my music as this urban alternative pop. That's what she
ooh,
called it.
ooh,
So
nice.
that is what you will hear more of from me, urban alternative pop.
Interesting. I'm thinking of like some gritty stuff coming. Yeah.
Yes, all the grit. It's the grit for me. Yes.
uh, Sweet. Yeah. Yeah. How can people keep up with you and follow you?
I am on Instagram mostly, and you can follow me at Nykee P Official. And Nykee is spelled Nykee.
Sweet, sweet, cool. And we'll link that in the description too. And I'm gonna add. Screw it. We have a play, or I have a playlist for Harmonic Heart, the Artist to Know playlist. So I'm gonna add Screw It to our Artist to Know
Oh,
playlist. So
thank you so much. I'm
yeah, yeah.
honored by that. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah. I just, really enjoy your work, and it's, empowering and motivating. So yeah.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yes, and so that's on, yeah, Spotify and YouTube. So yeah, yeah. Anything else you want, the people to know before we close out?
Um, for whatever you do in life, regardless of what it is, always be your truest, most authentic self. Do not ever let anybody make you feel like you have to be anything other than who you are.
Mm.
That's it.
I love it. That's amazing. Yeah. Dope. Well, thank you, Nykee P, for coming on to Harmonic Heart and sharing your story and your work with us. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.